Hey, hi, howdy, folks. Hope everyone's well. Can you hear me? Let me know what the video and the sound looks like. Is there anybody there? Well, there's Brian. Can you hear me, Brian? Brian, talk to me. And there's Sean. I'm definitely live. You're there. Great. I was just about to write, are you there? And there's Sean. Anthony Dodge, welcome in. Uh, I've got a little, oh, something's dropping. As long as it's not me, as long as nothing's dropped off of me. Hey, Superman, yeah. Never mind. There must be Connie in here because somebody said hello, Connie. Hi to you. It's not a plane, it's a flying hot dog, yeah. Yeah. And there's Colin. Colin's engaged. Hello, Colin. Lord Peter Webster, nice to have you in. Fitted, yeah. Yeah, I think it must have shrunk in the wash. It's already a small and it's getting smaller. There you go. Right. 2 minutes. Sean will be back. He must be working on those fences again. I mean, they are really difficult. They were tough enough in HO gauge, but they must be super tough in N gauge because there will only be half the size of those ones. And they were, yeah, you really had to concentrate. Any shaky hand stuff, it would have snapped the posts. And the holes in the posts are finite, so trying to thread the wire through continuous. Yeah, so it was tough, really tough. Anyway, how is everybody? Um, Great to see you all. Welcome in. What I'm running today is we're going back to the 50s a bit. Sound out of breath with that top super hot dog. Yeah. Phew. Well, you know when you set up these live streams beforehand, I couldn't get into it. I just couldn't initiate it. And I thought, what am I doing wrong? Because every time I went go live, it would give me a blank screen as if to fill it in. But I knew I'd already put one on there. So I thought, how do I access that? And I think other people have gone across the same thing when they've gone to go live and just didn't know how to access what they'd already put on there. So that came as a bit of a shock. And I was sitting there panicking, you know. No wonder I'm out of breath. Yeah, there's always something to go wrong. But as I'd never done that particular stunt before, putting like a pre-loaded live stream on there, waiting for me and whoever's going to jump in, I just couldn't access it. I know what to do now, but it was only by furious clicking of bits and pieces that I finally got there. Yeah, so I know what to do next time. Let's see if I can remember it in 7 days. Then we'll find out if I've got short-term memory loss. Now, what was the question? Yeah, right. Today I'm running a bit of 50 stock. So, oh, come on, Bass. BAS. Andy. Brian! Brian! Andy loves you! Oh, sorry, Anthony, I had to throw that one in. I'm running some 50 stock, so we've got all the old maroon coaches out. And there's two A1s, your 462 type Pacific locomotives. One of them is Tornado, which is that one in green. And the other one is another A1, but I'm going to have to concentrate and look see what's written on the side. It's called Curlew. And they're both A1s, both backmen, and they're both a little bit different in details and bits and pieces like brake levers and things like that around the cab. Uh, yeah, there's Captain Static, Mark. Hello, Mark. Nice to see you. Yeah. So I thought I'd give them a run. They're both actually my dad's engines. They've been sitting in his cupboard for God knows how many years, not seeing any action. Charlie and Mick, hello to you. For you, Charlie, that must be early morning. So nice to see you in. And Mick, have a beer, matey. Yeah. So I thought I'd give these a little spin out. I did a little maintenance on them first. Um, I did just put them on and run them just to see if they would run. And they ran like sewing machines. But I thought, well, how long's it been since they saw some oil or perhaps a little grease? So I thought, well, okay, I'll give it a shot. And so I oiled everything up, cleaned everything. Just one of them had been put back into its box, a little dusty, a lot dusty actually. So for those of you who are familiar with this, a blusher brush that ladies use to put on blusher, I suppose. No, I didn't steal this from my wife. I actually went out and bought it. So, yeah, when you buy things like this, yeah, I'm buying it for the wife. I didn't say, well, I'm going to dust off model railway engines. They would have looked at me, or like a dog looks at you. Huh? So, yeah, invaluable for dusting off the roofs of, yeah. If there's anything else that's pretty grotty, then I'll use, where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? I can't find it. I've got a paintbrush here somewhere. Can't find it. There's a paintbrush here somewhere, which is, it's obviously not as soft bristles as that, but it can get into the nooks and crannies, particularly if you've got a little corner where the dust likes to congregate, and you can just flick it out. Yes, I think we'll use something similar. Obviously, if you've got a little spot of coffee on there or something like that, a few, where are they? Cotton buds, there's a clean one, with a little bit of water and rub it off. But there you go. Yes, weather today, let's have a weather update. According to the temperature, it's around, well, it's, according to that, it's late 70s in here. That's looking like 76 degrees, something like that. And it does feel placid. There's hardly any wind blowing outside, very, very gentle breeze, but it's overcast. And we did have some rain this morning. Tom's Merklin train layout. Welcome in, Tom. Nice to see you. I did look at your video of the, I think it was an ICE train with the double deckers, and then you run it backwards. So you've got the equivalent of a DBSO on the back, which they drive from when the engine's at the other end. Can't remember what you call that, Anthony. I know it's got a very German sounding name. But, and the good news is I ordered my tickets for Get. Now, what has Sean said? Sean says that sounds interesting. Brian is working on a secret project called Beechwood. Huh? Okay. Beechwood. The racking of brains. Can you hear the cogs going? And there's Model Railway Shed Dino. Hello, Dino. Nice to see you. Had some rain this morning in Kent as well. Yeah, it was a few spots. I went up to see my dad, not to pinch any more locos, but just to see how he is and make some food and stuff like that. And there was a few spots of rain on the way up there. And I thought, well, uh, how wet can I get in a couple of 100 yards? Project Beechwood will be revealed in good time, Andy. Okay. Well, I don't know about that then. Is there anything in the suggestion that Beechwood has anything to do with it whatsoever, or is this just an obscure name, Brian? We'll have to find out. I'm okay with suspense. It's like Christmas. You used to have that real sense of suspense. What could it be? Let's have a rattle. But now, when it gets here, and I rather enjoy the suspense. So, yeah, I'm sort of happy in my own skin. Dino's retracted a message. I hope it wasn't mucky, mate. But knowing Dino, probably not. No, Dino's not a mucky person. If I know Dino. Charlie, how's what's the weather like in Canada? Probably, you can't say it's similar to the United States because Charlie's placed an order about 4 weeks ago for parts to be brought here by my cousin. It didn't arrive in Glasgow or here in Toronto. Frustrating. Yeah, it is. When you're waiting for something, when you're really waiting for something and you can't progress without it, that is a drag. That really is a drag. What a bummer. But when you're at the mercy of the mailman, in our case it's Royal Mail, and you've got United States Postal Service, and I don't know what they have in Canada, but who knows? You're at their mercy, and you just have to roll with it. Now, can everybody hear the trains today? Clickety-clack, clickety-clack. Colin Ship ahoy, yeah. What a monster. That's that's huge. I mean, even for something, can you imagine that in HO gauge? It would take up the whole room. Yeah. We're at the mercy of the mailman. So when it gets here, and when it doesn't, it doesn't. But it can drag you down. Something terrible. It's just the not knowing. Fellow 3-rail friend, yeah. Well, never mind. Keep putting the ointment on it, Dino. 28 now, going 22. Yes, if everybody would like the stream, that would help in my analytics. And mentioning that, it's the first time I actually looked at the analytics this week, and there was a few surprises in there. Huge amount of surprises. According to that, I'm quite big in India. Who knew? But it was the demographic which really struck me as odd. In that 30+% of the people that watch my channel are women. How strange. It is I think you meant that's a big world. It is a big world. A big word. What, analytics? Particularly with these teeth. Yeah, I want to change them for the fangs. But 18 now, right? Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, the analytics. Weird. Those people who are in my age group, from I'd say 51 to 60, nobody. It picks up again after that, from the 65s onwards. That's probably the biggest demographic there. And also the 25s to 35s, or 25 to 45. Yeah, it's big there as well. And I don't get it. If there is any rhyme or reason behind it, and anybody can share that with me, I just don't know. But apparently, 0.5% of the views are actually in Russia. Oh, yeah, Glasnost, Perestroika. Ah, yes, it's the charm that gets them. I don't know, Mark. I don't know. I really don't. I think if you're this RGJ Trains, hello from Robin Grace, and Jason is it the whole kit and caboodle. Aha, right on. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've an apology to make there because I was modding in your live stream, and there was obviously a member who was coming on a bit strong, and I looked at it and I thought, well, that's a bit fierce. But it didn't get any worse from there, so I didn't do anything, which that's not good enough, really, is it? You're expecting your mods to get in there and wheedle them out. So from now on, when I'm in your stream, I'll sit in the background and look for things like that. So I won't be so active in the stream, but I'll be watching. Because there's no point having a mod if they're not there to protect. And when somebody comes on there and confesses undying love, that one just passed me by. I thought, well, that's a bit odd. But yeah, the trouble is you can give people chances and then they dig themselves an even bigger hole. So I'll be a little more vigilant from now on. It's either that or I'll just hand in my spanner. But yeah, I'll be a little more careful. Because you've got to look at it from the point of, what if that was my wife on there? And someone's going to start sending roses. Hang on a minute. Just a minute, boyo. So, yeah, I suppose you've got to be careful. Anyway, drink of the day is coffee in the jolly old Station Master mug. I would show you, but it'd slop all over the place. But there you go. So you'll have to take my word for it. But cheers, everybody. Has anybody seen Robert in the chat? Timber Surf. Hello, Timber Surf. Nice to see you. Cheers. Oh, yeah, there's March West Andy. Hello. That went down the wrong way. Sorry about that. There's Connie. Mostly lurking at the moment. Yeah, I gather you're getting set up, Connie, for your yeah. Now, what was you working on the last time? It was sort of it looked like one of those bead puzzles you used to get, where you used to line up the beads. And I did pop back into your live stream. I think it was something like 8 hours later, and you were still bashing away. And it had come on leaps and bounds from where you started, which was just literally a blank canvas. Not seen Robert's train set for a long time. Well, I can update you there. I did send an email to Robert 2 days ago. It was Friday. To as much to say, is there anything? Are you cooking up anything that you're going to show us later? And he said, well, I've been trimming hedges, and so he's been doing quite a bit of garden work. Because with the rain and the sun we've been having, everything's gone mad in the garden. So I understand that. He did confide in me. I don't see why I shouldn't tell you that he's bought a new car and it's an automatic. So I gather that. Oh, micro bricks. That's it, Connie. Yeah. Painting a door right now. That is one talented lady. So straight from the micro bricks, straight onto the Crown Plus 2. Yeah. Yeah. So I did speak to Robert, and he said, well, he's just snowed under with things he's got to do. Um, haven't really been doing any model railway related stuff, but keep up with your content because you know what Robert's like. He's always quite expressive when it comes to other people. Keep putting out content. Robert's okay. Yeah, he's fine. I think his shoulders healed up now, so I think he's sort of back in. Is it left shoulder? I think it might have been left shoulder. If that's the one you're using for the gear for the gears and handbrake, I think I think it might have been left shoulder that was giving him so much trouble. And still no sign of George. Yes, I haven't seen anything. He pops up at the oddest times. I'll be sitting there having a cup of coffee in the morning, um, just checking my emails, and all of a sudden, bing, it will come up. White Wall Wheels MOH is online. So I drop in. There'll be two or three people there because they're some really obscure times, sort of mid morning. And yeah, Robert's fine. Jean Ricard, what a nice man. Uh, it's not true that what you say about him, Anthony. It really isn't. Um, yeah, Jean Ricard, what a handsome geezer. And very nice to see you in Anthony's videos, which I really don't think I missed any. May not have commented on all of them, but I was certainly watching. And as they came out, boom, right, I've got to see this because you'd have a spectacular waterfall or something of that nature, or you'd be walking through a beautifully presented town with all this fantastic architecture, which is peculiar to that part of the world. And yeah, I loved it. Every bit of content you put out, I was all over it. Um, it's nice to see other countries. You know, I like to think I'm fairly cosmopolitan. I know we're all entrenched in our own countries and our own cultures, but you can step outside for a minute. And you know, I've been over to Denmark, so it was freezing cold at the time. I'm sure you understand that, John. Um, and you know what High Fosen is like. Um, Great guy, sense of humour, really clever man. What he does with his electronics and how he does it, fantastic. I mean, I'm sitting there in absolute awe. Um, there's Danny. Hello, Danny. Nice to see the lights on your 59. Yeah, that was really cool. I enjoyed that. Um, yeah, guys from Denmark, from Holland. There are guys from Germany. Not too many. Um, Obviously, our American and Canadian cousins, and all the expats we've got. We've got RT over in Australia, and there's a different point of view from everybody, which is quite refreshing. Well, I find it that way anyway. And how they view us, which can be a little odd sometimes. Tammy and Ray. Ah, yes, that's mum and son. You know exactly who I mean. Nice to see you. Ah, yes. So let's give you a better view of the action. Um, uh, right, let's try. Hang on, let's see what Charlie says. Frozen shoulders. One first, which fixed with Cortez. One then a couple of years later, the other one. They caught the zone for that too. No problem thereafter. Oh well, that's good. That's good. Oh, thanks, Roger. Yeah, yeah. I thought what's clean. So I did a dive into the drawers as you do. And I thought as long as it hasn't got holes in it, it's like going for an interview for a job. It doesn't want to have holes in it. It doesn't want to be dirty. And I suppose I suppose it's supposed to fit right, but it sort of clings on all the right places, if that makes sense. Right, let's move our camera and see if we can give you a view of the action. Now, you're going to have to tell me if the noise reduction has popped on. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's better. Right, let's stretch that over here. Isn't that typical? You do all that work and then the train's gone past. There we go. Now, as long as that doesn't move, we should be fine. Can everybody still hear me okay? And there's Delft Junction. Hello, man. Peter, definitely another Peter. There's, I just had a little notification which says, watch Dave's Swindon Junction live in 30 minutes, Sunday chat. So I will observe that, and we'll have a quick run with my kit, and then we can all pile over to Dave's channel. Okay, can you hear the clickety clack of the trains and that? Thank you, Anthony. Stormy Sky Rail Productions, sickly faded unit on the BNSF. For those that don't know what BNSF is, Burlington Northern Santa Fe. Here comes, I think that was called Curlew. Number 60122, and Tornado, which is 60163. These are both in early British Rail, what would you call it? The Cycling Lion livery. If you take a look as it goes past, it might be a bit quick, but yeah, we call it the early British Rail emblem. Yeah. The later one looks a bit like an underground sign where there's a circle in the middle with an oblong going through it. Lord Peter Webster says, I can't wait to get my 2 layouts started. Just so much going on at the moment in catching up with other builds. Well, there isn't really any rush. Nobody says you've got to do everything at once. So take your time, man. That's very kind of you, Roger. I like what you did with the river scene, cutting literally the banks of the river out first to determine how large you wanted the river. I thought that was brilliant. Yeah, really good. I'd say that was admirable, Anthony, acquiring more trains. A lot of the work you've done in setting up your track, in setting up Dammenhorst, I even know the names, how about that? And you've got 2 brilliantly laid out sections with lots and lots of track where you can run lots and lots of trains. So you've built it with the scope in mind for what you want to run. And yeah, it's fabulous. And every Friday night we're in there enjoying it. To a point, I agree with Graham Fulson that we all do this for ourselves and we invite others along, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. To a degree, yes. But there's, I suppose there's a little egotist in most of us who sort of want to show off a bit. We like to see trains running. And yeah, why not show off a bit? Fake steam trains again. Hello, Artie. What a nice man. I take it all back. And you have to hand it to Model Railway Shed Dino, who's literally started again. Didn't really fancy what he was doing, so he decided to do something about it, which, yeah, I admire him for doing that. That means selling a lot of hard-earned rolling stock, but at the end of the day, you're going to be getting more rolling stock of perhaps a better quality. So, yeah, I think obviously it's all down to personal taste. But Dino obviously got to the point where he said, right, I've had enough of this. Let's have something different. I like what Anthony's doing. I like the 3-rail system. Let's go for it. And he did, which is, yeah, definitely some ego out there. The minute you put yourself out there, the negative Nellies come along. And if you're not doing this for ego, the comments can get to you. Yes, they can. Yes. Storing the boxes separately from the trains and organised, changing them out. Yeah. Yeah, finding them to put them away. That's even in the shed. That's difficult. Yeah. Yeah. You made your decision. Teeth are coming out again. You made your decision, Dino, and you stuck with it. And I do admire that. Just sent a message, Peter. Did it work? Are you having trouble with your emails, Brian? Or is this a Facebook message? There's nothing wrong with you, Artie. Boring people for 2 hours is easy. No, it isn't, Anthony. It's not. Not everybody can do it. Not everybody can do it. Guys like Brian can do it. Because Brian seems a natural in front of the camera. And so does Artie. Who can chat at length. And you can point the camera at Artie. And you could talk about anything, Artie, and it would be entertaining. They enjoyed your boredom. And a wonderful turn of phrase as well, Artie. Oh, dear. Oh, I didn't know that. There's Digger Evans. Hey, Digger. I got some A1s out for you today, mate. Early British Rail, green and blue. Oh, I didn't know that. I suppose I went to bed around, must have been past midnight, but 1 o'clock was a little beyond me last night. I've just slow tornado down a bit as he comes past. How about that? The thing is, Mark, people have a different perception of boring. As you know what you're talking about, it's not boring. It's only when people bullshit that that's when it gets boring. But if you can talk with authority on something you like, and it comes across that way, it's like, you're not boring, Brian. Don't worry about boring people on my stream. I do my stuff, run my trains, and it can entertain. It's on someone else's stream when I can't do my thing. I'll worry about it. Yeah. Yes, I'm very well, thank you, Digger. Yeah, no major parts of me are dropping off. That one you just saw come past is Early BR Blue Curlew, number 60122. These are both Backman examples. Most of the rolling stock is Backman, apart from the eagle-eyed amongst you would spot a couple of mainline coaches pulled behind Tornado, which is in green. We feature Hornby Grizzly coaches with metal wheels, and they run great and never derail. Yeah, yeah, that is a good thing to do. The thing with the old mainline plastic wheels, they were set at the correct distance from the factory. So you'd soon find out if you had any dodgy track work from the fact that if you're running a mainline coach, it should not derail. People weren't bored. Model Trainside and outside people enjoyed it. And there's Lee as well. Hello, Lee. Nice to see you, man. Call it all the women that watch him, Gene. Yeah, that is a bit of a surprise for me. It goes that word again. What is that? Boring. There's an art to talk. Bullshit to make it very believable. Those are masters of bullshit stories. Yeah, but you can't anticipate who you're going to have as an audience, because if you get somebody who's a teacher like Anthony, they'll be able to sniff out bullshit at 500 yards. Not that the rest of us are dumbos or anything. Everybody's got their own knowledge, I suppose. It's just that Anthony's made a career out of it, so it does help a bit. Dodgy. Yeah. No, we don't use dodgy like that. Anyway, it's not meant personally. Anyway, let's put it that way. Oh, yeah, I was in bullshit. Off my arse off. Hung around many politicians and lawyers in the past. Yes. You have to be very good at telling lies, but you also have to spot one. I cut up a bit of wood. We've got female viewers. Don't figure. Well, Roger, you put yourself in front of the camera, so it's not out of the realms of fantasy that the ladies like it. Well, those are pretty much just to hang out with friends, old and new, while working on the bench. Quality, very subjective. Conversation reflects the quality of the participants. Yes, that's valid. That's a valid point, Ronnie. It certainly is. Yeah. Yeah, and of course the level of the conversation can be quite varied as well. Let's just add a little speed. I'll give them a little whiz, just so they can stretch their wheels. So we should be up to somewhere near express speed now. Part of the secret is to keep the audience engaged and have them lead the conversation. Doesn't always need to be about trains. Some like to don't like. Yes, yeah. We're a mixed bag. Let's just ease those down a little so I can hear myself talk. I think they were having a Diet Coke advert moment. That's funny, Roger. Yes, I see where you're coming from. It's quite a phrase. Where's the best and cheapest place to buy Bob nickel silver gauge track? I would imagine somewhere like Hatton's or Kerno Model Rail or Rails of Sheffield, one of the big box shifters. There's Mark. Hello, Mark. Nice to see you, mate. It's nice to see your layout is coming along in leaps and bounds. Timbersurf can't afford to replace the lens on my SLR if single lens reflex if I accidentally step in front of it. Oh, okay. You're right, Charlie. Everybody brings something different to the table. You're welcome, Mark. What was the last? I know you got another acquisition. I think it was from stand over, Mark. Captain Static, Sir Captain Static, I should say. Was it? I can't remember what it was. Can you give us a clue, Mark? Well, thank you for that, Peter. Yeah, Kerno Model Rail are good. Being on camera keeps the crowd at a distance and I can control the situation. Yes, yeah, all of that I agree with, yeah. There's an element of control, and I suppose you could steer the conversation. It doesn't always work. And I think that's where I tripped up on Robin Grace's. You get too stuck in being a punter and forget that you've got a spanner by your name. So, Artie's bought a box of Pico Flex Track Code 100 for £70 here in Australia. That's pretty good going. Visit Cornwall to remove all your introverted troubles. Yeah, I like the Cornish. They've always treated me well, and I reciprocate. By control, it means I can say what I want and ignore what I want as needed. Yeah, that is an element. We don't often have any trouble of that nature in as being a night at the rhomboid table. Most of the guys are pretty placid, actually, guys and girls. Let's not forget that we do have ladies, and we do have model railway ladies, and they do their stuff. I was in Peaches Trains live stream, and she did very well. It's her first time on doing a live, and she did really, really well at it. She probably wouldn't have known that unless I actually said, look, you're a natural. Easy in front of the camera. She managed to keep the chat going for an hour. Brilliant. So, yeah, I told her. I said, yeah, you're doing a great job. The trains look great. I didn't win the free T-shirt, but there you go. It was a large anyway, and it would have swamped me. But yeah, we've got ladies who are very talented. Um, take Grace, for example, trying to keep the cat going and build something. It's not easy, and Connie does it really well. Um, it doesn't hurt that I really like Connie's voice, which is South Carolina, um, and that helps the chat go along. And there's Jackie. Hello, Jackie. Roger's got to go. Okay, Roger. I'll be on for about another 10 minutes. Yeah, cheers, Roger. Give my best to Cornwall. It's a lovely place. Yeah, really nice. And great trains too. Nick's met a talented lady in Hamburg once. I'll bet you did, Nick. Several, probably. I need to get out and do some more lives on location. Continue with my live history walk as part of my practice. So I may be driving tourist buses when I recover. Yeah, that'd be good, Artie. You'd be a natural at that. If I ever make it to Australia, I'd do one of your bus routes. You could tell me all about it. As long as you don't kick me off the bus in the dodgy area where all the snakes are and spiders. Your boy did great in Glasgow, should not have left. Oh. Right, now, if Mark has replied to me, I didn't spot it. Sold Mark a Class 37, a 47 and a 101. That was the one I saw. Yeah, it was the 101. Yeah, I thought that was great. While I was digging through all my dad's gear, I did actually manage to spot a Class 108, which I've got here today. Okay, Peter, right, prepare to be shocked. What you're actually seeing is one of these. It's a Pico dummy motor. So there's nothing in it. It's just a little plastic cover. There's one right here. Yeah, it's what the real thing is supposed to look like, but actually the actual point motor is underneath the board, just about there. You may well just be able to see the metal pin. So it's a fake. It's a fake, really. It's a nod to realism. Last time I was told as a tour bus driver I didn't talk enough. I can't believe that, Artie. Oh, thanks, Mark. Yeah, very good of you, mate. Yes, I have some goodies to come. I won't say what, so keep it as a secret, Mark. And as soon as it gets here, we'll give him a run. It was all cash too, huh? Yeah. Oh, what, in Hamburg? Yeah. Yeah, probably. In Deutschmarks. Got an email from Rails the other day to pre-order the new Black 5 loco. Thought I was seeing things. Price was £949 or £1,249 with DTC. Why so expensive? That's O gauge. Gotta be. Either that or Hornbier making it out of 18 karat gold. Glasgow Rangers, woohoo! Sport Glasgow Rangers as well as Liverpool. That's interesting. That's an interesting mix. Right, what I'll do, I'll put these two away and I'll get the, well, we've still got 10 minutes, I'll get an EMU and a DMU out. So bear with me a second. Right, let's pop that one off. I won't be a minute. Right, back into the station. Good. Isolate. Turn that off. And I'm just going to have to bring the camera back a little bit to about here. And one more trip around and I'll bring this one off. Experience is twice as much fun when shared with others. That goes for model trains too. Yeah, you're right. It is. Yeah, it's nice. There's a breadth of experience out there. And it's useful to share it. Particularly when it's asked for. Right, so coming at you now should be curlew. I'll have to slow it down a bit. Okay, Brian. Right, here she comes. Oh, look, there's a great big Tamiya paint pot there. Woohoo. Straight over the double slip. No problem. Yeah. All right. Okay, now I can adjust the points. And number one. Ha. Right, and I can now isolate that one, bring out the 4th CEP. And there she comes. That 4 CEP does take some beating, it really does. So smooth. I don't know how Bachmann got their motor in it to go so smoothly. Some of their DMUs are really noisy. Don't get that, but right, let's just stop that there. I'll do the points and off we go. Right, that's one out. I will readjust our camera position. So you should see the 4 CEP coming around now. And there she is. Whee! And I'll bring out the Bachmann 108. And that one. Reverse. Righty. And here we go. Uh-oh. Now stop that there for a second while I readjust. All right, now I got it. Okay. And reverse. There we go. Right, normal service is resumed. Woohoo! So now we've got a 4 CEP, which is a electrical multiple unit, an EMU. And on the other side, on the outer track, is a Class 108 diesel multiple unit produced by Bachmann years and years ago, but a really good model. Even got working lights on it. And just notice how smooth they are, particularly the 4 CEP. It's a real smooth one. Why would we not give advice? It boosts our ego. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting angle, Timber. Woohoo! Yes, British Rail, 1970s, 1980s, blue and grey. Right, how are we doing for time, people? It's 2 o'clock. Okay, chaps. Right, let me just grab you there. Give me a second. Oh, there we go. All right. Right. Once again, many thanks for joining me down in the shed. Just give a shout out to Chris at Valleys, who did the as an extra. He did the image for the Sunday life, and I thought, oh, okay, I'll use that because I finally realised what he'd actually done it for. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I loaded it on hey presto, it worked. So a big thanks to Chris, Valleys 56XX for that. Thanks for joining me. It's lovely to see you all. And I'll catch you all over on Dave's Swindon layout. Thanks for coming, everybody. Artie, Jackie, Dino, Danny. Great to see you, mate. Look forward to seeing you at Getz if you can make it. That'd be great. Bring your son along. That'd be superb. Anybody else you can get to Getz? Anthony's going to be there, which is that's just marvelous. Yeah, Mark, if you can get up from the south coast to get to Getz, I know it's a tough ask trying to get to Milton Keynes, but yeah, that'd be super to see you there. Lord Peter Webster, thanks for coming, Peter. And I'll chop it there. And if anybody wants to pile over to Dave's Swindon Junction, by all means, I'll see you over there in a moment. Thanks for all popping. Thanks for all popping in, and great to see you all. And take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you all next week. Ciao for now. Oh, sorry, Timber, I'm nicking your catchphrase. Adios, everyone.